Survivor is back and so am I! Let's do this. Hello everybody, how's it going? I am the Survivor Dude with you with another Survivor season. It's been far too long. Survivor is back and I am loving it. Just a quick little side note, you might notice I'm not in my orange, I'm in blue. That's because I wanted to change things up. Honestly, I was thinking of even getting like all three shirts of a different color for every tribe. One yellow, one green, and one blue. But then I ran into a little problem when I realized that wearing a green shirt while having a green screen was not the brightest idea. So we're just going to stick with the blue. Alright, 2-hour premiere, so there's a lot to unpack. Here's what we got going on. Survivor, the first... what I like to call this episode is going to be called... for my taste, I'm going to call it the... emotional dump, because every single person just dumped their emotional baggage onto you in the very first episode. We cut to Sarah. Oh, my grandmother died of COVID. Very tragic. I'm sorry about that. We then cut to, everybody who's had any tragedy in their lives just tell up their straight story. But you know what? I'm for it. I'm with it. Because right off the bat, we get into these characters. We get right into them. And let me just start by talking about some of them. And starting with my winner pick. Yeah, I'm not just going to dip my foot into the pool in here. I'm going to talk about my winner picks because I think she is great, and her start off with this episode was just what I wanted. Chantel, yes, Chantel from the Ooh-Ah tribe. Oh my gosh, she's everything I ever wanted her to be. I am mind blown at the fact that she made her own sneaky thing. Yeah, I don't know what exactly it was. I can't remember. I just watched it. But that scene was so hilarious. And I hope anytime she's doing something nefarious in this show, they're going to put that song going on. Love that. She is great. Of course, I'm going to have two winner picks. I always choose a guy and a girl. So I'm going to also choose a guy, but I just want... Chantel's my number one pick on the board. I'm just saying, because let me put it this way. This is the first time that Survivor has gone out of its way to make this be a very diverse cast since Fiji. And I'm not talking about since the last time they were on Fiji. They're always on Fiji now. I'm talking about since Survivor Fiji. That was the last time they had a really wide, diverse cast. And I feel like this time is the first time in a long time that I feel like it's an even playing field where everyone has a chance at it. And I think a black woman hasn't had a big chance, because I think that, women, of course, usually are targeted earlier in the game, and a lot of times it can be a black woman just because she doesn't fit in as much as the other people. Chantel is fitting in great on her tribe. She is blending with everyone. Everyone is going to her and asking her what's going on. Like, JD straight up went to her at the tribal council and said, "Hey, who do you want to vote out? I will go with you. It's up to you, Chantel." Basically, everyone just said, "Chantel, tell us who to vote for." And that's why she's my winner pick for the women. I'll have to think about it for the guys. I have a couple of people that I'm thinking about, but here's why I'm also into Chantel. Just because I feel like I have to be, because Chantel is she's a Christian, so member of the flock. Gotta support her. B, she's Canadian. Hello, represent the Maple Leaf, Chantel. And C, she's a comedian. I've actually looked up some of her videos online. She's actually pretty funny. So I really enjoy her. She's a Christian Canadian comedian who loves Survivor. I have no choice. She has to be my number one winner pick. So yeah, that's the stuff that's going on in the Green Tribe. We got JD, who is definitely overplaying, but definitely also, getting some of that rewards from that overplaying. I think he's right now in a good spot. We got Brad and we got JD, who I think are a strong two alliance. We got Jeannie, who's kind of like a floater. I feel like Jeannie is not exactly in the know. She voted for Ricard last time, and I think that's just because when the live tribals started happening, everyone's whispering around and going like this. She's like, I don't know what we're doing, record, it's like, it didn't feel like she was necessarily, like, my mind thought, like, what if Sarah did use the dice and was safe, then because of that, the vote would now be split between Brad and Ricard, so maybe she's thinking that three-dimensionally, I don't know, I would like to see a confessional if that's the case, but who knows, But yeah, anyways, so that's what's going on in the green tribe. Let's move on to the other tribes. We haven't seen a lot of the blue tribe exactly because they won their challenge. And I think that's... but I think it's an interesting dynamic because I think it's a double fold of overplay on three people. Because you got Danny, you got Deshaun, and you got Nasir. I think are all overplaying. I can't imagine the balls on those guys to go looking for an idol before they're even done this hourglass challenge. I mean, seriously, hello? No, I wouldn't do that because if it goes out and I didn't finish and we don't have no flint, everyone's going to be blaming me. And so I'm just saying the balls on that. So they were overplaying in that regard by finding idols. But Nasir, I think, also overplayed by just walking up to everybody and saying, hey, they're all looking for idols. I can see it. Let's all be a 4. We'll be a 4 team, and we'll just vote them out. Because, whoa, Nasir, whoa. I mean, this is a season where these guys are in small tribes, in small numbers, and those are your 2 biggest guys. I mean, I feel like they have a little bit more of social and capita that you don't necessarily have, especially early in the early goings. And when you know it, Sydney goes right up to them and says, Nasir's coming after you. I wonder where that puts Erica, because Erica was kind of like, oh yeah, but we didn't really see a confessional from her to see if she was on board with that or not. So it'll be interesting to see where that turns out eventually down the road. I think that they both sides overplayed, and I think it's putting a lot of people in the crosshairs that wouldn't necessarily be. And then we come to the yellow tribe, and this is interesting because when it came to the twist thing of it, where everyone either risked their vote or didn't risk their vote. By the way, I love that. I love this. This is actually, look, we were all afraid when Jeff is like, it's a game like you've never seen before. Nobody has ever done anything like this. Whoa, look out, guys. It's going to be a brand new game. Okay, it's still the same game, Jeff. Let's not go overboard. It's still Survivor, which is good because that's what we like. But I gotta admit, I actually like the strategies that they're implementing in this game. The prisoner's dilemma that we had in this episode, interesting risk, because now it's not just a risk of, do I roll this dice and do I get the advantage, or do I not roll the dice and not get the advantage? It's a risk because you're working off of what you feel the other players are gonna do. It's working in social interactions with each other. You had that entire trek to read these guys. Do you think they're the type of people that are going to risk their vote or protect their vote? And all you need is one. All you need is one person to protect their vote. In terms of who handled it the best, I mean, there's nothing you can really say about... In terms of who handled it the best, I mean, you can't really complain about what Danny did because, I mean, hey, he didn't lose anything, so nothing wrong with that. JD really messed that all up because he was trying to make it seem like if two people have to protect your vote in order for you to get the extra vote. But the way he was saying it, he was so clearly thinking about it in his mind. He was like, so 2 people, if two people risked their vote, nobody would get votes, and if 2 people risked and one person, or if 2 people protected and one person, he was all over the place, and it was clearly that he was full of crap, but having that extra vote is not a bad thing to have when these tribes are these small. That's actually a really interesting thing to have, and it makes him a really valuable alliance mate going forward. Xander, though, I think gets the gold medal for handling it the best. He just told everybody straight up. This was what the advantage was. I went for it. I don't know if I got it yet, but I did. And honestly, with that type of honesty, he could almost probably play off that he didn't get it. Because think about it, for Abraham, it was a 5-1 vote. I don't think they read all the votes. I think they only got to 4. So he could possibly say that, oh yeah, didn't you see that there was only 4 votes? I didn't get it. But if he also was like, oh yeah, I totally got it. On this tribe, I don't think that means people are going to be gunning for him. Because A, he hasn't rubbed anybody the wrong way. Everyone seems to at least have a good rapport with Xander. And so I think that a lot of people are going to be bidding for him as an alliance mate. But also, I think that tribe is really interesting because the way it unfolded, because we've always seen this type of thing with Survivor when it comes to keeping the tribe strong or keeping your allies close. You know, do you vote out your allies to keep the tribe strong, or do you vote out the strong to protect your alliance? And on this side, I think that obviously Tiffany did the right thing, but I also think that Evie and Liana did the right thing. And the reason I think that they did the right thing is because look at what Abraham was saying. He was definitely all in on just vote out the weak, keep the strong. In fact, I think he was too all in with that idea because, okay, let's say Tiffany does go this time. Who is he coming after next? Probably Evie. I think Evie is probably the next one on that chopping block, and I don't think that she should feel like she should just go along with it. And so I definitely think it was a good idea for the women in this alliance to stick together to vote out Abraham because, like Xander, as I say, people are going to be wanting for him. David was funny to me. I like that he was like trying to change. Can we just go for the puzzle, please? Can we just go for the puzzle? I'm a smart guy. I can do it. But everyone else is like, no, we should sweat. We should sweat. What? You come with me. We'll do it. And he's like, why am I supposed to do it? You know? But I did think that was funny. I did think he seemed a little frustrated in the early goings, that he couldn't get his way. I wonder if he's going to be struggling socially, because I think right now, if they lost, if he doesn't get a good, strong connection with Evie and Liana, because I think Evie and Liana are the power duo of that alliance right now, of that whole thing. I think if he could just get in there, convince him to go after Tiffany for the next one, I think he could be safe for a little bit. But I think he's in a precarious position right now because I feel like Xander's saying, hey, we can use it against the other tribe when merge happens, and that's a tempting offer for someone who's being that upfront with you, that straightforward with you. I think that's a tempting offer that they might go with. I think they might see David as more schemy than Xander is. So, yeah, I think Evie is definitely... for MVP, I'll get into that later. I forgot I used to do MVP of the episode. But, Sarah, I'm so sad to see Sarah go. Because I was actually feeling really good about Sarah. And then the episode started, she started just like crying and being emotional all the time. And I was like, whoa, Sarah, what's going on here? And I don't feel like she had the strongest footing. I think she got too nervous at the start and just didn't go. She tried to go, and I think she threw her off, and a lot of people come out with a strategy of how to play the game. They're like, okay, this is how I'm going to play the game. I'm going to play the game like this. No doubt about it. I'm going for it like this. And then you get to there, and then you're just yourself. And no matter how strong or how much strategy you think you have, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You're still going to get voted out because you are who you are. And people sometimes just don't realize that. Brad, though, what a dope! I think the people to go home are Sarah and Chantel, who are standing right there! What is he doing? You could have said Jeannie, she wasn't there. She's not like in control of the drive. Are you afraid of Jeannie? What are you doing, Brad? Especially since you said to Chantel that you're in an alliance with her, that you're in all the way to the end with her. What are you doing, Brad? I mean, I laugh when Sarah was like, this is like 2001 Survivor. I'm like, yes it is. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what this is. Brad, I don't know what you're doing here. I mean, is this the Russell Hand strategy of like, sometimes it just, you'll be amazed how this strategy works just to tell him to go home. You know, I think that Brad got saved tonight, not by his own free will. You know what I like about tonight? Look, there was a live tribal, and I know a lot of people hate the whispering, and don't worry, I get it. I've gotten annoyed by it too. At least this time, we could hear what people were saying, except when it came to the point where JD basically told Chantel, Who do you want me to vote for? Tell me. Just tell me and I will vote for you. Which is a big statement to say that, hey, Chantel is running that tribe. And I think she is. Oh my gosh. Did I already talk about the theme? If I didn't, I'm just going to talk about it again. The fact that she gave herself... I did talk about the theme, but wasn't it amazing, guys? Come on. But yeah, Brad, I mean... Take that guy to the end. Sign him up for the finale, guys. I don't care how big he is. Even if he wins 10 out of 10 challenges in the immunities at the end, he's not going to win a gosh darn thing. If I had a lock for not the winner, Brad's #1 choice on the board so far. Okay, yeah, okay, what else do we got? What else do we got here? I didn't even talk about the roll of the dice, the shot in the dark. Love that, love that. You know what? I love this. This is another thing of the twist. I was worried about the twist too, but I think this is a good idea. Because we all have times where just somebody is so obviously the one on the bottom, so obviously the next one to go home. Why not give him a chance? Now, it's not a big chance. Just like they said in the episode, it was 16.7% chance to be saved. But if it's a done deal, and you're going home, and you know you're going home, why not? What do you have to lose? And this makes the strategy interesting because we might see a few more diversionary votes, you know, like Devin did in Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers when he put a vote on Mike to ensure himself not getting idled out by Ben. We might see a few more of the solitary side votes to ensure a tie so they can re-vote on somebody else. We might see that happening more often. But also with losing votes with these risky challenges, that makes it all really fluid. And JD having an extra vote. Now, I don't know what's going to happen next time. I don't know what's going to happen in the very next, like, is it going to be the same wheel? Because if it is, it's going to be more and more interesting the more the challenges go on, you know? It's going to be more and more interesting because more people will know what to do. But now you got to get one person to hit protect. And you can't just say to everybody, I'm going to protect, guys, because then everyone will just risk your vote. You know? And you can't just say, I'm going to risk it, guys, because then they're going to... Well, yeah, it's the prisoner to live. It's like that, I don't know, it's interesting. It's really interesting. I'll be interested to see how that turns out, if they have new things, different types of prisoner's dilemma. But I love the look on the wheel, how it was like protect your vote, save your vote, and the look of it all, or risk your vote, save your vote, or protect your vote, risk your vote. Got it. Okay, what would I do in that situation? I think with the early go, but I also like that it was, did I talk about this? Anyway, I love the twist, I love the shot in the dark, I love that. The one thing I'm a little bit like, okay, Survivor, let's back it off a little bit. Did it need to be this hard? Do you need to be like, you get no rice, we're taking your flint and your firstborn child? Did it need to be that hard? I don't know. I feel like you might be overdoing it a little bit. Survivor always does this. This is not a new thing. They'll be like, okay, here you go. Here's your rice. Here's your beans. Here's your, stuff. And then after a few seasons, they're like, it's too easy for them. Let's take away their stuff. Take away their rice. Take away their machete. Oh, now everyone's miserable. Okay, we'll give them a little bit of their stuff back. Oh, that was a fun episode with that stuff. Let's give them a little more stuff. Well, now they're having too much fun. They're not even miserable. This is Survivor, gosh darn. We're taking all your stuff back. It happens all the time. So, yeah, this isn't necessarily new or Survivor, drop the 4, start with a 1 again. Look, guys, this is still Survivor, but you have implemented new twists, and I appreciate that. I prefer these 2 new things, the risk your vote, protect your vote, prisoner's dilemma, and hopefully more challenges like that. I prefer that to in the future, and I like that it gives all the players a chance to intermingle with each other, have a little bit of, because if there is a swap or a switcheroo, I feel like these first impressions might give some people some time to be like, hey, we had at least something, a starting point, let's go off from there. So, do I think that, the final 3 is going to be David, Xander, and JD? No, I don't think that. But I do think that it's possible that these could branch off into real alliances and relationships down the road. I'm interested in where I gotta say, guys, I love this premiere. I know it had a little bit of the weepies where everyone's saying, "Oh, I'm so sad, everything's so miserable," but I still think that I got into the heads of the characters. There was some really fun moments. Did I talk about that Chantel humming thing? I did. I just love it. So yeah, that's what I gotta pick. MVP of the episode, though. MVP of the episode. You might think, since I've been singing the praises of Chantel, that she's the one who gets MVP. Honestly, I think that indecisiveness could bite her in the butt a little bit. I think Ricard, though, is going to be wanting to work with Chantel. Ricard being a little bit on the outs, I think, is not necessarily a great spot if there's a swap that happens. However, I will say this. I think who the person who played the best game tonight, MVP of the night, goes to Evie. Yeah, I think Evie is the best player of the evening because Evie got everyone to vote the way that they wanted. Evie is a person that got everyone to vote the way that they wanted, and I think that's really interesting. Unlike the Green Tribe, the Ooh-Ah Tribe is a little divided. Still don't know why Evie voted, or not by Evie. I still don't know why Jeannie voted for Richard. It's a little bit divided there, where Evie would still be able to have at least the illusion of united front against Abraham. Like Evie and Liana, I would almost share them both, but I think Evie got a lot more screen time Evie got a lot more screen time of actually driving the vote into a certain direction. So I'm going to say Evie gets MVP of the episode for sure. Now when it comes to my second winner pick, because I always do two, one guy, one girl, there's a lot of guys that I'm interested in from stuff that I've seen in the pre-interviews. Like Deshaun, I'm actually really interested in. I think he has a lot of stuff. David, I was actually a lot more higher on David than anybody else, I think. But I'm not sure if he's in that great of position. David, I think, is too big of a threat. Xander, I'm not sure if he could win even if he got to the end. Nasir, he's in a bit of a shaky position as well. Out of all the guys, I think I'm most confident that the guy that has the biggest chance of winning, even though he did search for the idol too soon, and I think that could really bite him in the butt. I think Deshaun is going to be my winner pick for the guys. I think for my number one is going to be Chantel, but I think for the guys, I think it's going to be Deshaun. We'll have to wait and see. I am pumped about this season. I think the premiere was fantastic. Yeah, and we'll have to see how it goes. I'm really looking forward to the next episodes. Honestly, I had to watch this the day after just because of I don't have cable and I'm watching it online, and I was just like, it was killing me all day because I had to work a little bit later today. So it was like, God, just let me watch this flipping show. I had to stay off Reddit. And yet, thanks to stinking Global, I still got spoiled on one of the people voted out. I clicked on Global Survivor, and the first thing that popped up was, "Hey, Abraham, do you have any regrets?" And I'm like, well, why else would he have regrets unless he was the first person voted off? Thanks a lot. Anyway, I know how to do it now. I know how to avoid that. We'll be looking forward to that in the future. But hey, Survivor 41 is off to a great start. Who's your winner picks? Who are you liking? If you want, put it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back talking about Survivor. It's good to be back filming about Survivor. Survivor 41. I'm interested. I'm interested in where it's going to go. Also, though, the beginning with Jeff Probst, when, Tiffany's just standing right beside the Beware dungeon, I'm actually really interested what that could be. I'm definitely going to be staying tuned to see what that's all about. But when she's just, right there, and, the clues flashing and everything, and with what he did in the beginning, I half expected him to come on screen and do this. Hi, kids. Do you see where the clue is? That's right, in the tree. Does Tiffany find it? No. Oh, I'm so sad. Stay tuned. Find the clue. It's gonna be so much fun. I am really high on this premiere, this first episode. Most of the twists I like. I don't feel like they need to starve these people to death, but I'm okay with it if it gets me all this other stuff. I like all the characters so far. There's nobody who I'm like, it's that. My wife didn't care for JD, thought he was a little bit annoying. I think he's just a little bit rambunctious and high in Survivor, and that's okay with that. You know what? That's fine. Maybe he'll chill out as the game goes on. Do I care about the day being shorter, 26 days? Not really. I mean, we're going to get the same amount of episodes. It just might mean we get a little bit less stuff shoved under the rug. Maybe that's a good thing. I actually really liked that we didn't have basically 2 episodes back to back, that it was basically one long episode where we really got to know the cast, and then 2 tribal councils back to back, because whoever lost the challenge, whoever won was the only one that was safe. That was a nail-biter challenge, by the way. Oh, that was crazy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to episode 2. I'm already thinking of the possibility. Oh yeah, let me make a prediction. See if there's any predictions I have. If the Green Tribe goes to Tribal Council, I think the people who are in danger are, of course, Ricard. Even though he did vote with them to vote off Sarah, he was obviously trying to push for something else, and you can't really hide that. But also Jeannie, just because I don't feel like she's really settled into any alliance, and Ricard is stronger, they might view that as a benefit. And I think that, from what I can tell, Chantel, who is the one running the stuff over there, from what I can see, I feel like Chantel is the one, doesn't really have as strong of a bond with Jeannie as she does with Ricard. So I'm going to pick Jeannie for the one who I think is going to be going off the Green Tribe next. For the Yellow Tribe, I think if they go, it's probably going to be David. Yeah, I would hope it's not, but it might be David. The only reason it might not be is if they think, well, okay, we got out the guy, now the women aren't just going to be picked off one by one. Why don't we go after Tiffany now? Liana and Evie might feel like that's the way to go for the future. And for the Blue Tribe, I really think this is going to end up to be like a Nasir versus Deshawn battle, but I really think that Danny's going to be the X factor that's going to win the day with that one. It's probably going to hold a little bit too much power. I'm also cheering for Erica, by the way, just because she's also a former Canadian, she is a Canadian, and so, gotta thumbs up for the Maple Leaf. But we didn't really get to see a whole lot of her this episode. Hopefully, maybe more down the line. But I think Nasir is definitely in trouble, and so that's the person I would say has the biggest chance of going home. I thought Sydney was going to be the one that was going to stand out and flame out, but no, she seemed to be actually in a pretty good position. I think she found an opportunity to tattle on Nasir. I think that she put herself into a good spot, because with the tribe 6-6, if she moves over to Deshawn and David and firm to strong 3, that seems like the more tempting people to go with than Heather and Nasir and Erica. I think one of them might flip. I think it's too early to be going to rocks. And so I think Nasir is probably the one in trouble unless somebody messes up big time at the challenges. But we'll have to wait and see till next episode. Until then, I am the Survivor Dude. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you then. Bye. Oh, so funny.